Really excited. Being my senior year and being back with the boys from last year, I'm really excited to be back and up and going with the season.
Coach Lindsay mentioned a lot of maybe inexperienced guys are going to have to step up with a lot of graduating seniors from last year. How excited are you, to see your role expand for this coming year?
Yes, it's gonna be a little different from last year, like you said, with the seniors that were a big part of the team last year that left. Having the underclassmen step up this year will be fun to see how experienced they are and how they can do in the situations. With the seniors that we have right now and them having varsity experience from the past years, I don't really think it'll be a struggle for them just for the fact they've been put in the situations that they have been and going into the season now. I think everything will be perfectly fine.
As a senior for this team, how have you tried to establish yourself as a leader?
Just being there for everyone, showing up to practices on time, being the leaders in the weight room, especially. Kids aren't really doing what they're doing. Just step in and be like a little coachable moment for them, show them exactly what to do. The kids that are out on the practice field, for instance, they mess up, don't make them feel like, oh, it's something that like you're bad or something like that. Like step in and show that everyone makes mistakes. I mean, they're human. So help them get that coachable moment and teach them to show what's right.
SAC is always a grind, no days off in that conference. How do you feel like things will shake out this coming season?
I feel like everything will be good. Definitely we have a chip on our shoulder from last year, but I think this year for sure everything will be fine. Just keep it up and rolling. Just play our game. I mean, can't really change anything different, just play our game.
Coach also mentioned, every single season trying to get you guys prepared to go on a deep run in the tournament. And knowing how last year ended, has that been any sort of thrill for you guys as you get ready for this coming year?
Yes, it's definitely a motivation. For the fact we play Eastside almost every time in the sectional championship every year. Being my sophomore year, we beat them, and then junior last year, we get beat by them. Definitely going into this year, it's going to be a huge fuel to our fire. So coming into this year, I think it's going to be the motivation, definitely, because we don't want to end our season early. So just having that motivation.
Oh, I'm really excited, and I'm also really excited to get back to football.
No, you're good. As one of the receivers on this team, there's going to be a lot of new pieces on the offense. What do you feel like that's going to look like?
Oh, we're gonna be really good this year. We're loaded with running backs. We have a lot of running backs. Our running game is going to be nice. Good linemen. Returning starters. A lot of returning starters. And our outside and our slots are always solid. So in our passing game, Luers, we're a passing team, so it's going to be fun.
As one of the seniors on this year's team, how do you try to establish yourself as a leader?
I really just try to get everybody together, get everybody work for each other, not themselves, and just try to make plays,
Right. Just knowing how last year ended, very solid season for you overall, but you dropped that sectional title game. Has that provided any sort of motivation for you guys for this season?
It's very, very. We get a lot of motivation from our postseason. Knowing last year we lost them in our sectional championship, so that's a really big motivation coming into this year, and we're trying to ride it. So.
And of course, the Luers always have that vision of going on a deep tournament run. How about the conference, the SAC? Always a grind. Where do you feel like you guys will be in the mix in the conference?
Yeah, the SAC is really talented this year. I feel like we're going to have a lot of difficulties, but we always come through. We're looking to get the top spot this year too.
Just looking at how last year went, how are you able to build on the success of last year and build it forward for this coming year?
That's a great question. I think the central theme is to carry on and build on that work ethic that the senior class that graduated this past spring brought to the program throughout their 4 years. It was obviously a very fun team to watch. There's a lot of talent, a lot of exciting kids to watch with their hands on the ball. But more than anything, that class brought that consistency in the weight room, consistency to the practice field, holding each other accountable, holding themselves accountable, and that legacy, I think, will be around for a long time. They passed it on to this group of seniors and these underclassmen, and these kids they've had a great spring, very good summer, and they're gearing up, and it's really exciting as a coach and the coaching staff in general to see kids, to know what you're going to get from kids on a daily basis. When kids are present, when they're giving you what you need in every facet to prepare for a season, you like your chances to become a successful program that year.
How has that process been, trying to replace a lot of talent from last year, especially at quarterback, guys like quarterback?
It's been exciting to watch. There's still a long ways to go. We still have not designated a starter at the quarterback position. For that matter, anywhere in offense. We like to think we have an idea who's going to run the ball. That's a good place to start. We've got a good crop of running backs, probably 4 or 5 deep there that are ready for Friday night action. Kids like Brayden McInturf out wide and Nick Thompson out wide have experience out there. We're going to have kids to replace the very talented group that left at the skill positions. The quarterback position obviously is going to be the number one, and it has been so far today, the number one position asked about. And we got 2 kids that are getting after it every day that have vastly improved from a year ago, from a couple years ago. And they're in a battle right now, and we probably won't know till the end of week 1 or week 2 of August. That's the reality. So we're going to split reps there these first couple of weeks of August of camp and kind of evaluate how they do during their scrimmages. The best way to replace all that talent is to get things together up front. We return 1 kid up front, so the other big question mark is what's our offensive line going to look like and defensive line. And we're going to be inexperienced, but we're going to feel like we've got some kids that are strong, that have some size, that are very consistent in their work ethics. We feel like by mid-season, definitely by season's end, that should be a very quality unit to block for a very good group of running backs. That should ease the load on all the newcomers. If we can establish ourselves up front, make it easier for our quarterbacks to get the ball out, then we should have some success on that side of the ball.
As you know, the SEC is always a grind, no days off during the regular season. Where do you feel like you guys will be in the mix when it's all said and done?
It's hard to predict. There's years where you think that it's going to be a long season, and you're sitting there competing in every game, and that's the expectation ultimately, is just to go out there to compete every day, every Friday, to get better, and then give yourself a chance to win ball games in the fourth quarter. And I think if we can get off to a good start, hopefully get some confidence early. Who knows how good this team can be in SAC play. Ultimately, our goal is to get this team ready for a state championship run, and there might be some lumps along the way, but if this is anything like a former team, maybe 2020 would be a good comparison in terms of not a lot of experience coming back, a team that might be outmatched some Friday nights, but ultimately if they keep their head up each and every week and maintain that consistency off the field and then on the practice field, this team has a lot of potential to do a lot of good things.